My soul tribe. I almost didn't do a reading. I had the intention on doing a reading today, and then, of course, my ego monster was like, oh, you don't have to do one. But I knew I was saying, maybe I won't do one, but I knew that if I didn't do one, that I would feel unfulfilled come evening time. I would feel like I was missing something. So here I am. My friend Carrie bought me this deck. It is, I have the cards flipped over, hang on. It's called Remember Your Divinity. And I told my friend I was getting major Six of Wands energy here. So maybe Six of Wands is symbolic, you know, feeling seen, feeling loved, feeling understood by others. Six of Wands. And then with Remember Your Divinity, I was hearing, Simba, remember who you are, remember who you are, remember who you are. Why? Why, just as I'm doing a reading, are you driving by my house in your lawnmower? So let's get some cards for the Soul Tribe. Soul Tribe reading. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you had a good day. I had a nap, which I don't nap a lot anymore. I used to nap a lot when I was, you know, unawakened. I would just want to sleep the time away. What a waste. Anyway, so I had a nap this afternoon, and I woke up, and like I said, I was in the mood where, I won't do a reading. But then as I was saying it out loud, I knew if I don't do a reading, I'm not going to be a happy cookie. Happy cookie. I don't know. I meant happy camper. I don't know why I said cookie. Anyway, maybe I need a cookie. I don't eat as many cookies as I used to. Anyway, clearly I was filling a void with cookies. Cookies are still good though. Anyway, I have no idea why I'm talking about cookies. So let's see what we need to hear as a collective. Against all odds. Against all odds. Isn't that a song? Isn't there a song? No, I don't know if there is. That says that, against all odds, or maybe I'm just thinking of, I don't know why this is popping into my head, but The Greatest Showman, from now on. Anyway, from now on could be symbolic. Maybe you need to listen to it. From now on, I can hear the song, but I can't hear specific lyrics on the spot. Sorry, guys. Anyway, from now on, no. Against all odds, oh my goodness. What number is that? 35. 35. Empress energy, Hierophant energy. I don't know what this card is about, but against all odds is giving me the energy that you're someone who maybe has been through a lot. Lots of tests. 35 equals 8 strength. So maybe you've been through some, I'm hearing endurances, hard endurance. Anyway, and I'm just thinking of Empress and Hierophant energy. You could be a Taurus or a Libra. 35 against all odds. You ready? It's so funny. As soon as I start doing my Soul Tribe reading, the people that I know can feel it and they start messaging me. I think that's really interesting. That's not an affirmation. There is a time and a place for percentages, mathematics, and statistics, and that is not here and now. There are components that exist that cannot be created or destroyed, measured, or calculated. There are invisible, unknown, mysterious forces that have creative power. Truth. Life is not a Life is not a logarithm. Someone help me. Word fairy. Oh my gosh, word fairy. Hello, I haven't seen you in forever. Logarithm. There is a cadence and rhythm and breath to you that supersedes the anatomical, oh dear, drawings of the human body in 2 dimensions. Your message. What's on this card even? We see someone growing vines. Kind of very interesting. It's like they're crawling on their path upside down on their back against all odds, they're still going. You know, if you look at that, there are smarter ways to crawl. Anyway. Anything that is in your energetic field is meant for you. Even an impossible seedling idea of desire that crosses your path and engages your heart is meant for you. That's why I always tell you guys, follow those little urges you get, those little flashes of insight, those little whispers that say, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could help people. I felt a shift last night with the energy. I felt a shift. Before I went to bed, I wrote all my intentions. I actually put some on my wall that I was going to read to you guys, from a channel on TikTok. I think it's Athena's Crystals. Anyway, maybe I'll grab those in a minute so I don't forget. But I woke up feeling a little different, feeling a little, I don't know, different. It's a weird thing to describe. I woke up feeling a little detached from things that no longer serve me. I woke up feeling a little detached from lower vibrational energies. I'm also like highly aware that only a few people in my real life see me for who I really am. I know you guys see me, but like this week, I'm being authentic. This week, I spent a lot of, like every day I was doing a little soul tribe reading and I was getting to interact with you people. And I hope you know when I say you people, I don't mean anything bad by that. I mean you people, the best people around. But I feel so seen and understood by you people that then when I go to talk to people in my real life, it's like I have to water myself down for you. Or I'm watering myself down for you. I'm not being my true authentic self. Does that make sense? Anyway, it was a weird sensation this morning, or a weird feeling to feel that way. Almost out of alignment with some things that I felt were kind of still in alignment yesterday. Does that make sense to anyone? Oh my gosh. Blink twice if I'm making sense. So I'm going to read this to you. Like my tape, I used stickers. They're affirmation stickers to hang this on my wall. And then I put it right beside my bed, and I read it before I went to bed, and I read it when I woke up, and I'll read it before I go to bed tonight. But these are affirmations. Again, I think it's Athena's Crystals. It was from a TikTok that she did. I, paused it and wrote down all the affirmations that she said to repeat. But I'm going to read them to you, and then I want you to repeat them or put the captioning on and say them to yourself. It's very powerful right now this time, okay? We have to work with the energy. We can't just wait for whatever it is to manifest through this portal. We need to meet the universe halfway. Her whole thing, she was saying, here's an offering to the universe. Say these affirmations and meet the universe halfway. I reclaim my power and embrace new beginnings. I always show up as my true self and let my light shine in the world. I have unlimited potential to create the life I've always dreamed of. Every day in my life is filled with joy, love, and prosperity. Opportunities present themselves to me all of the time. I am so lucky. I allow myself to be the person I've always wanted to be. I write my own story. I am truly grateful for everything I have. Life is beautiful. It is freaking beautiful, isn't it? My eyes were closed for way too long. I always thought the world was beautiful. And when I started photography, I really started seeing the world differently. Like I started seeing the world through the lens of a photograph, which was beautiful to me. Anyway, maybe I should start taking photos again. Not of people, but of, other things. I allow myself to be the person I've always wanted to be. I already read that. Maybe you need to hear it twice. I write my own story. Maybe you needed to hear that twice. I am passionate, fearless, and driven. Nothing can stand between me and my desires. So repeat those to yourself. Maybe write them down if you're feeling called to repeat them before bed. If you want to know what these super cool affirmation stickers are on here, one of them says, give yourself time. No rain, no flowers. Life is good. No one is you, and that is quite a power. Don't call them dreams, call them plans. Talk to yourself like someone you love, and we were talking about that yesterday. And can I also just reiterate, if that's even the right word, that if you're someone who's about to start, like if you're not someone who's awakened and you're someone who's about to start awakening, or you are on the awakening journey, just remember that you're going to have tests, especially if you're in the spotlight or on social media. People are going to say things that are going to trigger you and try and break your confidence and try and break your belief. And remember, you're not a tomato. I used that again today. Someone was like, your readings are so long. They don't need to be that long. Anybody who wants short readings, go watch this reader. And at first I was like, oh. And then I was like, wait a minute. I'm not a tomato, and that person, don't mean to gender you, you like tomatoes, and I'm not a tomato. So you go watch tomatoes, and I'm going to stay over here and not be a tomato over here. Anyway. But like even the other day I did a pick a card where I talked about soul tribe reading. I'm going to talk about it. The other day I did a reading where one of the piles, it was clear that the love interest was married or in a relationship of some sort. And this person left me this page about thumbs down to you. You need to stop. First of all, as a tarot reader, I'm just reading the energy. And I would be being unauthentic if I drew, like I found out what those cards were on camera, just like everybody else. And I would not be being a true channel, in my opinion, if I looked at the cards and thought, oh, this person's married. I'm not going to read this energy. You know, I told Spirit, who's coming towards pile 3 in love? I'm going to honor the message. And then at the end of it all, they said it resonated. So it was like, why are you complaining to me? But clearly I triggered this person, and this person was saying, how do you feel giving people advice that's wrecking homes and things like that? And I was like, first of all, I feel like I saw it for what it was, which I triggered this person, and they were being very, very judgmental. And I'm not going to sit here and defend myself or talk about marriage and, you know, how some parents shouldn't stay together just for the kids, that sometimes... Anyway, it was just... That's what I mean. You're going to get people who who don't agree with you and who try and dim your light and tell you off. You know, as far as I'm concerned, that person never has to watch me. I'm not out here trying to wreck homes. I'm out here trying to get people to live their true, authentic versions of themselves. And total transparency, I am someone who was in an unhappy marriage. And it's not about me not honoring my vows and wrecking homes and ruining my kid's life. I was faced with... Do I follow my heart's desire, which doesn't make logical sense? My heart is telling me I'm not happy and that I am not comfortable with the situation I'm in, and my heart was guiding me elsewhere. Or do I lie to myself and stay in that situation unhappy, giving my kids a watered down, unhappy version of myself? You know, until you've been through it, until you've been in that situation, you shouldn't be judging. And I was not going... Spirit wanted me to channel that pile. And I don't care if you gave me a thumbs down, because there are some people out there that maybe needed that advice, or maybe needed... I'm not condoning home wrecking. That's not it. It's about self-love. It's about being honest. It's about not wrecking homes, and that person, you know, coming to terms with what they actually want, being honest with their partner, so that those kids don't grow up in an unhappy marriage where there's infidelity and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyway, somebody left a comment on my soul tribe reading the other day that and I'm not trying to start a debate over marriage, but that when it comes to soul contracts, marriage is like a humanly whatever. That soul contracts are different. And that was my whole point, is that in pile 3, that was, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have told you what pile it was. It was a soul contract between two people, and one of them was already committed. And again, it wasn't about wrecking anybody's home. I would be a completely different person now if I had given into those program thoughts, those, well, you made an agreement, you're going to wreck your kids' lives. I went through all of that. I went through all of those feelings. And I'm telling you right now, my kids are much happier now than they were back then. Anyway, again, I'm going to be labeled the homewrecker. I used to be judgmental like that. I used to be very judgmental like that. Like, what do you mean you slept with someone else and had a baby with someone else? About actors and things. Like, what a scumbag cheating on their wife. What a scumbag. He went to rehab and he found himself and he realized he wasn't happy in his marriage, so he just left his wife. What a scumbag. When really, that person was against all odds choosing themselves. Again, I was that judgmental person until I found myself in that situation. And sometimes the situations that we're the most judgmental about is because we're going to have a test with them, a test with that. Does that make any sense? I know I'm getting really heated. I know I'm getting I'm fine. I'm not triggered by it. But my point is that if you were that judgmental like that, there's a reason. Anyway, it's not about... This person was just like, what about the karma of children's tears? I'm like, what about the karma of someone staying in a connection that they're not happy with, and therefore they're not being their true authentic selves, so they're unhappy, and then that's low vibrational energy, and then their kids grow up in that low vibrational energy feeling like something's off, I'm somebody who has grown up, I'm getting really here's my Libra rising. I am somebody who grew up in a household where my parents weren't happy. And guess how I feel as a grown-up child? I wish my parents would have separated. Anyway, I am someone who believes that my parents probably should have went their separate ways, and they both would have been in higher vibrational energy and lived a more fulfilling life than the unhappy one they stay in because they have a piece of paper that says they need to stay together. Does that make any sense to anyone? For me, as a person who's been through it, I'm no longer judgmental. Was I someone, full transparency, who was cheated on my partner? No, I was not. When I realized that something was wrong, I told my partner. I said, I'm having these weird feelings, and I'm not an unfaithful person. I believe that we should honor ourselves and be honest. That's what I believe. And do people have affairs and make mistakes and things like that? Of course they do. Do they have my forgiveness and non-judgment? Of course they do. And that's why whenever I even said in the beginning of that pile, this is going to trigger people. This pile is going to trigger people because it's talking about someone who's already in a connection. And I kept saying it, and that person stayed and listened to the whole reading and then gave me an earful. So free will, my friend, you could have clicked off. Anyway, in my opinion, brutal honesty, and maybe I'll lose some followers, I believe that there are a lot of marriages, I say it all the time, that a lot of us shouldn't have been rushing out to get married, that it was pressure, we were pressured into it. Get a job, find a husband, have kids. You got to do it. You got to have kids by the time you're running out of time. Your clock is ticking. Why aren't you married yet? Why aren't you having kids yet? It's like societal pressure. And there's a bunch of people who thought, that's what I need to do. I need to go out and get married. And how many marriages are now... Anyway, I view my marriage for what it was. They're my soulmate. I have a soul contract. I had a soul contract to break away from my family. They had a soul contract to break away from theirs. We were meant to incarnate on this earth to have children. And then I was meant to go this path. And that's what I believe for. I believe that I'm someone who believes we have a soul contract with everyone we come into contact with. You know, I get comments from you guys like, it's so, you know, the timing that I found you. We made that contract, okay? You and I don't care who you are. Before we came to this humanly existence, you said to me, you're gonna help me in some way on my journey. And I said to you, yes, I am. I'll meet you on YouTube when you've been through these lessons and I've been through mine, and I'll have a message for you. We made that contract before we came to this life. Just like people in that pile made a contract with their person that, anyway, I know I'm losing some people right now, but that's okay. I don't care. Soul tribe reading, you know, this is, again, it's not me complaining about commenters. It's me. These are things that I feel like we need to talk about. Anyway, you know, you should stay together for the kids. Think about the karma. That's programmed thinking. That's societal pressure. You know, I don't know the right terminology, but that's what it is. And that's what almost kept me very unhappy. And I'm telling you, my kids thrived after I was honest with myself that I wasn't happy. And I took the steps to change my life, to follow my path. My kids changed. They became their more authentic selves. They're happier. Their lives aren't ruined. Anyway, there's a time and a place. Did I already read this? I already read this to you. Why am I still... Did I not finish it? Did I read it? Or did I just start... No, I got distracted by that hard word. And then I started talking about other things. Anyway, years ago, if I had heard of someone who was in an unhappy marriage and fell in love with a soul contract, and I would be like, you a-hole, stay for your kids, you're gonna wreck your kids' lives, blah, 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 unawakened. Anyway, and this person was like, how can you call yourself spiritual? Because I believe in soul contracts. Anyway, anything that is in your energetic field is meant for you. I already read this part, didn't I? Even an impossible seedling of a desire that crosses your path and engages your heart is meant for you. No matter how seemingly impossible, how slight the chance, how slim the projections. What is meant for you will not pass you by. What is meant for you will not be made unavailable to punish you. What is meant for you will not be subject to the thoughts, opinions, and speculations of others. I didn't even read that before I was going on about that. That's interesting. That's magic. What is meant for you is already yours. Truth. Will you have the courage to claim it? Truth. What do you truly desire? Not from a place of vanity or ego, but from a place of soul sustenance. What have you decided you do not deserve? Who will you disrupt by having it or becoming it? Whose story will you rewrite? Which relationships could come to an end? What behaviors and personal scripts would you have to reevaluate? Who would let you down? Examine all the ways in which your having your desires will potentially disrupt others. As I was venting about that. That is interesting. I didn't even read that before I went down that channel. Not rant, channel. You know, when I was in that situation, I would have loved to have come across a person like me who was like, you know, it's okay to follow your intuition. It's okay to choose yourself. It's okay to have these feelings. You're not wrecking anybody's life. It's part of your soul contract. I would have loved that, which is why I believe in giving that message when it comes through. And it doesn't come through all the time. But when I see that energy, I do read for it because I'm someone who had to go through that. And my heart goes out to anybody. And so many people choose their ego. So many people choose what they think everybody else wants them to do. And those are the people who have the midlife crises or whatever. They'll say, my partner went out and bought a convertible and lost their mind. It's because they were ignoring their awakening. Anyway. Anyway. That's not an affirmation. Why has everybody got to start messaging me when I'm doing soul tribe reading? Again, it doesn't distract me. The only thing I care about is seeing affirmations because I believe they come in perfect alignment, in my opinion. That was it. It's your divine right to have it. Whatever it is that you want, it's your divine right to have it. It's not selfish. It's not homewrecking. It's not, anyway. Again, there's a reason that message came out. And again, for those of you who think it's, oh, she's got to get over what people are saying in her comment section, believe me, have you seen those comments? I have. But when one hits me like that, when I trigger somebody like that, I even said in that reading, that's weird. I feel like I'm triggering someone right now. Although, why are you watching this pile if you're so triggered by breaking up a marriage? Like, I could feel that I was triggering someone, and sure enough, I did. But I needed to talk about it because that is, in my opinion, that is programmed thinking that person, and that's judgment, what that person was doing in my comment section. And again, when I was in that position, I would have loved to have come across someone who knew what I was going through, who could have given me some guidance. Instead, I sat on my bathroom floor and I cried, and I asked a pendulum what life path I should be choosing, and I asked Spirit to show me a penguin. So anyway, there's a lot of judgment out there in the world. And a lot of it comes from the people who say they're not judgmental. I commit to my well-being. That was the affirmation that just popped down. Anyway, this is the only reading I'm doing today. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I did a channeled message the other day it was the day before I did my pick a card. And it was, for some reason, I felt called to do it that day, and it completely hijacked my entire day. But I haven't posted it. And today I was like, today my higher self is telling me to post it. So I will post that later. But yeah, just, again, this soul tribe reading to me is special because it's truly about me. I believe that the people who find this message need to hear it, or we're part of a soul tribe. These soul tribe readings in the past week have really meant something to me. Months ago, I was doing them like every day, and I was feeling so good about it. And then I got trapped in some lower vibrational energy. I had someone around me in very low vibrational energy, and kind of, killing my shine, diluting my sparkle, or I was letting it kill my shine, whatever. And this week I've noticed how dedicated I am to this soul tribe check-in every day. Like even today, I knew I had to do it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for seeing me. I was feeling 6 of Wands energy when I opened this deck. Feeling seen and understood by others. I feel seen and understood by my soul tribe and my newer friends that I have in my life. Anyway, I don't know what the point of all that was, but there you go. Maybe somebody needed to hear that message, For example, if you want to talk about karmic ties and karma, In my family, there's a line of people who stay in unhappy marriages because of what other people think and because they can't leave that situation because they couldn't survive on their own. So they stay in the unhappy connection. I am breaking those karmic patterns myself. Just keep in mind too, you guys, that what we think is right and for the highest good maybe isn't. So we can't just throw the label karma on there. Well, you're going to get your karma. Really weird. I was watching Squid Games, the game show with my kids. And there was this woman on there talking about karma, and she was like, karma's gonna get you. And she's like, that's how karma works. And just her energy about it, I was like, there's no way that woman's gonna make it. Like, there's no way that woman's gonna win. Her energy and the way she's talking about karma, she's talking about it not in a, like, it was lower vibrational energy. Anyway, don't know why I'm telling you this, but I was watching it last night. And I decided I'm going to try and read these people's energy. I'm going to try and read their energy and see if I can tell who's going to make it or not. I don't understand how the game works, but the game is that they were walking down a bridge with glass panels. And if they chose the wrong panel, they would fall through and be eliminated from the game forever. And I was reading all their energy and I was looking at the numbers of their jerseys. And I was like, my partner was a little creeped out because there was this person who went to go and they were like crying. They were like, oh, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. And they had no confidence. And they were like, this is the end. Goodbye, guys. I know I'm going to choose wrong. And I'm like, oh yeah, they're done. I'm like, that guy's going. I'm like, I'm telling you, I don't even have to look. That guy's going. He stepped on the glass plate, down he went, because he knew he wasn't going to make it. His higher self knew that was the end of the game for him. He had that emotional reaction. Next person comes up, confident. They're like, I feel this. I know I'm supposed to be here. I manifested this. My gut is telling me to go left. My gut's telling me to go left. I'm going to listen to my gut. My gut has never steered me wrong. And I'm like, they're going to make it. Stepped on the platform. They made it. Next person. Again, I was reading their energy. It was almost like they knew. You could tell by their energy if they were panicking and crying, it's because they were about to be eliminated. Like, truly, they didn't know they were about to be eliminated. Does that make any sense to anybody? I don't know why I just shared that all with you, but again, sometimes what we don't, some of us don't know what the karmic lesson is supposed to be, okay? So, anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna keep going. What else do we need to hear? That's too many. Let's put them back in. I didn't even see any of them. What do we need to hear? What do we have? I can't wait. Dark night of the soul on the bottom. That's what I went through. When I had to choose myself, I went through a dark night of the soul where I started to question everything. Memento mori, remember that you must die. 31. Empress, magician energy, stepping on to, can I share something with you guys? Because you'll get it. Nobody else gets it. I just want to share the card that I pulled for myself from this deck. I just want to read it to you because I thought it was very cool. I pulled Walking My Own Path. And it's about, I'm just going to read it to you in case anybody else resonates with this, but I just wanted to show you, like, I don't know why, because you're my friend and I'm sharing what card I pulled for myself. That's not selfish. That's just me, wanting human interaction. A bee can communicate to its hive by dancing and fluttering its wings. By sitting out of this dance, you deprive others from experiencing your majestic, but majesty. Anyway, words don't make sense to me. And magnificent honey. All nature is a rhythm and a frequency. By walking your own path, you create a frequency for others who are who are looking for exactly what you offer. Just you being you authentically can have a ripple effect in the entire world. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. And about how I used to sit and watch people dance. And I thought, I can frickin' dance. Like, I don't know how to dance like choreo. I'm not like I can't do a choreo, whatever dance, but I can do free dance. I'm a free spirit. Anyway. I'm sure just listen to this, because this is how you guys make me feel. This is how I feel. All your beautiful comments. I'm sure you're rolling your eyes thinking this sounds dramatic, but imagine your favorite song. Can you name it? Maybe you don't know what specifically grabs the melody, the beat, the instruments, the significance of when you heard it, the meaning behind the lyrics. It doesn't really matter, because something in the essence of this song has hooked you and resonated with your soul in a way that enriches your life. You will always search for that song and stop what you're doing when it comes on. You will sing it, you will hum it, you will hear it on repeat in your head at random moments. This song is a part of you and is merged with your energy field. You are someone's favorite song. Remember that. Whether it's one person or millions of people, the frequency of you is intoxicating, and there is only one you. You are the frequency, you are the signal, you are the pulse in the throat, you are the light in the sky, you are the bolt in the cloud. You are the beautiful dome that contains the prayer. You are the seed that appears as nothing more than a stone, but contains the wisdom of eons. You are the secret, you are the soul. And I'm going to read to you the next part, because that's you. And maybe you're just not singing your song yet, so people can't, fall in love with your song yet because you haven't sung it yet. In what ways are you silencing your own authentic voice? You. What obstacles are standing in the way of your path? Are they man-made, natural, or self-created hurdles? What is stopping you from removing them or finding a way around them? You are. Once you recognize that you can change your path at any time or remove the obstacles, you will find that you have absolute autonomy and responsibility over your own life. Anyway, I just felt like sharing that with you, that's the card that I got. And we've been talking about music and sharing your authentic voice so that your people can find you. So I wanted to read it to you. Memento mori, remember that you must die. And the old version of you does have to die if you're going to ascend into the new one. You have to leave that old self behind. You can't hold on to pieces of them, Look behind, remember thou art mortal. Remember you must die. A public slave or companion would shout at a triumphant general during a procession, reminding him of his own mortality, keeping him humble and reminding him that he was human like everyone else. Reflecting on death to get clear on life is not a new thing. Socrates said, "Those who pursue philosophy aright study nothing but dying and being dead." One of the most prolific Roman writers, Cicero, said to study philosophy is nothing but to prepare oneself to die. The term Maranasati, which translates to remember death, is a prominent term in Buddhist texts. The father of French skepticism and an influential and key figure of the French Renaissance, Michel de Montaigne, I don't know how to pronounce any of this. No man is more fragile than another, no man more certain than another of tomorrow. Modern-day Radboud University in the Netherlands purposely built a grave behind the school's chapel to lie in and reflect about life and what's important, inviting students to make something out of their life. That is powerful. What will you do today? No matter who you are, what you have or don't have, what you accomplish or fail to do, you are mortal, flesh and bone, just like everyone else, and you will ultimately and inevitably die. Take a bite out of the fruits of life, embrace your sensuality, dance, Live freely. Don't let your fruit ripen and rot on the vine. Don't take yourself so seriously. Memento mori beckons you to humble yourself and consider your mortality. Remember that there is no promise for tomorrow. Share your love, your happiness, and live your life freely today, for tomorrow is not promised. And, interesting, I was getting the urge to use this deck recently, and it's called the Memento Mori Lenormand and Oracle deck. And it's by Claire Goodchild, who also does the Antique Anatomy Tarot. So maybe, maybe we'll just get it. Like, I feel like I need to get a couple. Memento Mori, it's sitting right here. I've been thinking about using it. So maybe I need to get a few for you. And let's get one more card for you. Anyway. Magic! That's magic. Oh, I love it when that happens. I do. I love it. That's like one of my greatest pleasures is when the cover card comes out. I know it's a simple pleasure, but it makes me happy. Belinda sent me a deck. It's called Landscapes Tarot. I haven't used it on my channel yet, but I shuffled it and I spent a lot of time shuffling it, and I was shuffling out a card for myself, and the first one to come out was the cover of the deck. So again, I thought that was magical. Anyway, remember your divinity so that your people can find you, is what I'm hearing with that Six of Wands energy I'm getting. Remember who the F you are. It says that. Remember who the F you are. And it's on page 18, Divine Feminine. You are worthy of being loved. You are entitled to be powerful. You are capable of creating a life beyond your wildest dreams. And you only live once in this lifetime, in this, what does esoteric call it? Your meat suit? I like physical body. The term meat suit makes me feel a little weird. The feeling you have been disposed of your power, divinity, and identity is not individual to you. Women in general, or for the masculines that are here, I'm not counting you out. Divine people, feminine, like if you're divine, maybe you resonate as divine feminine. And I'm not, again, this says gender, but I'm talking about divine beings, divine feminines. I know that women deserve to be appreciated as women and all that. I'm just trying not to box people in, is all I'm trying to do. Anyway, or leave anybody out, because I do know that I have masculine energies that watch my readings. They deserve divinity too. Women in general, or divine feminines, are feeling like parts of them need to be reclaimed. Your great-grandmother is tethered to you, waiting for you to reclaim your power and paddle the boat home. When you heal yourself, you heal your entire line. You heal generational trauma. You heal your mother line. And that's the whole freaking point of what I'm doing, is trying to heal the generational trauma in my family's lineage or whatever, so that it stops with my kids. It stops here. No, it stops with me. My hope is that when my kids have kids, if they choose to have kids, or if it's in their soul contract, that they'll parent them more like I parented my children. Maybe they'll even make, improvements. But I know that the cycle that I grew up in stops with me. This heal your entire line, that's another thing. When I was awakening and I was being pushed to leave the path I chose for myself, I looked into my history, and again, I come from a long line of people who stay where they think that based on the opinions of others, they, I don't want to say don't have a backbone, but do you know how many times I was told, you need to grow a backbone? Like, even by my friends, they were like, you need to get a spine. Like, you are spineless. Anyway, again, I think it's, I don't know the right word, pretentious? Maybe not, no, that's not the right word. But who are we to say what is karma like what's supposed to happen and what's not, especially anyway. I'm like still thinking about that marriage pile. Anyway, right now you are surrounded by a sea. Right now you could be surrounded by a sea of darkness. You are embryonic in your awareness, contained and cramped and hopeless, not knowing what awaits you on the other side. In the dungeon of your soul is an old cellar held with rope, attached to a musty door, a place where fermented and bottled things, energy, a place where fermented and bottled things are preserved, I keep spitting, and caked with dust. A place where you go to organize and categorize your traumas and your pain. It is time to pull on that rope and open the cellar door. And you know what's interesting is this person, I believe they're on not a black jaguar, but a regular jaguar and jaguar. And that reminds me of that card about visiting your inner jaguar and nourishing those shadows and turning them into light. You'll be blinded and disoriented from the sun, but once you adjust, you'll wonder why you stayed in the darkness, fondling the bottles and jars for so long. It is time to wake up. It is time to realize that you have the power to walk up the steps of your own dungeon. I'm hearing, oh my gosh, the cave, what's it called? Plato's cave thing? What's the word? It starts with an A. If I can find it, I'm going to post it in the description box if I remember. If I remember to do that. I don't know enough about it to describe it to you. But it was very powerful when I watched it. It was about these people that were chained in a cave, being shown projections on a wall, shadow projections of what the world up there was really like. And it was meant to scare the people down there into not wanting to go to the surface. And this Plato's cave, whatever it's called, one of those people gets up and goes to the surface and sees what is on the surface. Think of the dragonfly. And of course, what the first thing they want to do is they want to rush back down into the darkness and tell the people down there, do you have any idea how light it is up here, how magical it is up here, how healing? Again, they want to rush back down into the cave and say, do you have any idea what you're missing? It's so beautiful up there. But the people down in the cave have been conditioned by programmed thinking and projection and fear. So they don't want to get up. They don't want to go to the surface. Anyway, it's interesting that reminded me of that. I'm going to post that later. I am. I'll see if I can remember to put it in the description box. But my memory when it comes to that kind of stuff is Dory. Are you my conscience? You have the power to walk up the steps of your own dungeon. I am totally posting that later. It is time for a new era in the sunshine and blooming with flowers and trees, but planted with your own hands. You have the right to feel the light on your face and let the past go. You have the power to know the world you are living in isn't all there is. The old you is no more. The old you is destined for more. And it's also, this is on 18 and 19. So divine feminine and divine masculine energy, you know, I had to embody emperor energy to choose my life, like to choose myself. Does that make sense? When it came to that whole situation, I needed to embody masculine energy and know my worth. Anyway, you are experiencing a structural cosmic level shift and an old relic. The old shell has been cracked. You've done it. You've done it. You're turning into that butterfly. There's no going back now to your caterpillar ways. It was a facade separating you from your own divinity and power. There's absolutely nothing to worry about, nothing to fear. You are a vessel for the Godhead inside. You are the match head that has been struck. You are the flame that has tipped purple. You are the star that has begun to shine, but taken millions of years to be seen. Can you see yourself? There is more. There is more. There is more. I promise, this feels like the end, but there is so much more, so much more. You must believe the sun will shine again. You must not lose heart. You must believe. There is more. You are divine. It is time to light up the world. And that ends on 20, judgment energy, releasing yourself from judgment, the judgment of others. You know, I'm looking back at myself like I went through this weird thing. I don't know if it started in like February. I think it did. Where I started taking on the commenters' comments like to an unhealthy place. And I started trying to do readings based on what my commenters wanted. I started to like, oh, if I picked up of an energy of, marriage, I'd try not to talk about it. And I was being untrue to myself. And the people who knew me, usually the people from my soul tribe, they would reach out to me and they'd say, are you okay? You seem like you're not doing your normal readings. You just seem a little off. And it's because I was doing things based on the opinions of others. Anyway, I'm almost seeing like, against all odds, you are awakening. This death could be symbolic of leaving behind your old self. When I did that intention letter last night, you write the intention letter to your future self and then you sign it, your old self, who you're leaving behind. So leave that old self behind. Shed your caterpillar ways, grow your wings, I'm almost seeing, some of you could be, not all of you, because I know some of you are very awakened, very in tune, but some of you could be just about to have that breakthrough moment. I don't know why, but I'm seeing that's a weird one. I'm seeing, first of all, actual childbirth where the water breaks and the child pushes through the, but the other thing I was seeing is kind of for some reason I was seeing, this is weird, but how the orcs in Middle Earth, in Lord of the Rings, yep, there's my freak flag, I'm flying it. How they have to break through that slimy thing. That's what I'm seeing. I know that's a weird one. If you haven't watched Lord of the Rings, the movie, I watched it recently. I haven't watched the last one, but I watched the first two movies recently with my awakened eyes. And it very much reminds me of spirituality. And, they're saying the fight for Middle Earth, and I'm hearing the fight for New Earth, the New Earth. Again, I am rambling in this reading, but I used to watch Baba Jolie say, oh, these things are going to happen. You'll see people seriously, she was like, you're going to see people step down in positions of power this month. And then Biden stepped down. And then she said, you're going to see, major outages. And then that thing happened where everything went down and flights couldn't fly and people couldn't get their internet. I missed all of that. I had no idea that even happened. Do you even know what I'm talking about? I was in my own spiritual bubble for that one. But I'm just hearing preparing for New Earth. There is something coming. I don't know what it is because I'm on this journey too. But I know that in the next few years, there's huge shifts happening. So it's important that we awaken now and that we shine our light now. Again, if I could just go back in time, if this was 5 years ago and I turned on whatever and I saw myself, I'd be like, who the fuck are you? What are you talking about? You're weird. But now I embrace it. And I don't really align with anyone who doesn't anymore. It's you don't believe in magic. That's weird. When I used to be oh, magic, that's so weird. Anyway, so that was a nice way to end on that deck. So let's see what's coming towards you. I do not know my Roman numerals, so you're just going to have to bear with me. But let's see what... I just felt that momentum mori. Cross. So we have we have death and rebirth. We have you leaving behind your old self. I'm hearing Why was I getting a key with that? That was weird. I'm hearing divinely protected, but we also have the door. So it's like you need to walk through this door and leave your old self behind. You know, your old self is not coming with you. Your old self has served you until now. It has served you up until this point, and now it's time to release that past version of yourself. You don't need that caterpillar version of yourself anymore. You don't need your feet on the ground. You can fly. Anyway, let's see what's coming towards you. I wasn't planning on getting this deck, so I have no idea what's going to come out. Even if I was planning it, I wouldn't know what's coming out. So I'm going to take that one. We have mirror. Interesting. One thing I wanted to mention is one thing that I keep hearing is that this month we're going to have tests, my friends, of repeating cycles, and it's how we have to do it differently this month. So whatever happens to you, whatever comes into your energy, whoever comes into your energy, deal with it a different way than you have in the past. React a different way. Respond a different way, change your pattern. Very important this month, the month of August. Again, I don't really know enough about it to be talking about it, but it's a message that I keep getting, is that this is the month to break those karmic patterns. So, you know, let's say someone comes in, I don't know why I'm hearing this with the mirror, but someone could come in triggering you, triggering a wound. Change the way you're reacting this time. Take time to reflect about it. Change your approach this month for whatever you're working towards, whatever comes, whatever cycle repeats. Change your approach. If something bad happens, I'm just using myself as an example. If something bad happens and your initial gut reaction is to think, oh, the universe hates me and the universe has it out for me and I'm going to go cry, I'm going to give up spirituality, like even that thought process, which I've been through many times. Instead of looking at it like that, change the way you're looking at it. Change the pattern, okay, is what I'm hearing. Is this really the first card? It is. It's the first card in the deck. Magic. Protection from evil and harm. Beautiful. Beautiful. You are protected. Next part. I was thinking this was going to be a really quick reading, but I feel like it's going long, but that's okay. Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind, is the quote I just heard. I'm not the right tomato for you if you want a quick reading. Like, if you want instant gratification, I'm not into that. I've done that. I've been down that road, instant gratification. No, thank you. Protection from evil and harm. You hear me? You're protected. Protects the home when hung from a door, a lucky profession, mastering a skill, a helpful stranger will arrive. I'm sorry, but all week, I mean, I think it's Monday now, but anyway, all week, we've had this message of open heart, you are protected, and someone coming towards you, whether that's love, whether that's a friend, whether that's whatever. This is saying a helpful stranger is going to arrive. Interesting. Horseshoe, you are protected. Maybe you need new shoes. Like, seriously, I'm hearing that. Maybe you, I don't know why that's coming through. That's weird. New shoes, what's that about? Why did I just say that? Why did Spirit make me say that? Do you need new shoes? Are you someone who doesn't treat yourself to new shoes? I have a very warped, like I grew up with a very warped sense of finances and stuff like that. So I was taught not to invest in things, or like only to buy things that were instant gratification. So like in my family, you know, smoking and alcohol was more important than food. But like I can remember my mom, there's a reason I'm talking about new shoes. I can remember my mom having this pair of shoes like my whole life. And I always wondered, like, why doesn't she just get new shoes? Because that was not the priority. But then I did that. Like I realized I think it was like 8 years ago now. I realized that I had a pair of flip-flops that I had for like 12 years. And I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this? So I threw those flip-flops out, and I can remember the people in my life were like, oh my gosh, you threw those out? Like, you've been wearing those for so long. They're so disgusting. Anyway, not sure why I'm bringing that up. Maybe you need new spiritual shoes. Maybe you need dancing shoes. Maybe it's symbolic of a change. This is going to take me so long to find. Hang on. Why can't I find this? I can hear someone trying to help me. Roman numerals. Someone help a divine being out. There we go. Reflection, revealing the truth, ego, the self, identity, narcissism, self-love. So for some of you, we have the 3 of coins here and the crown. Interesting. And the gallows. This is very interesting. It feels to me, remember how I was talking about repeating cycles? It feels to me, this is in the Hanged Man card. And usually there's a figure there, okay? So it feels like someone who you surrendered or have not been in contact with. Could be a father figure, could be a masculine. We have crown here. I don't know why I'm seeing king energy. But we have the 3 of coins, which the 3 of pentacles is about trying to work things out. So you could have someone coming towards you. It could even be someone new that is repeating a pattern that you need to break. It could be that this person is reflecting something. Like I said, it could be that this person triggers you. They could project on you, especially with that narcissism card. Change your reaction this time. Change the way you react. Change the way you're viewing it. Try not to take on their image of you is what I'm hearing. Interesting. Interesting. Let's get another one. We have child, so it could be that you have an immature energy coming back towards you. Let's see what you need to hear. We have whip. Memento mori, magic! That's magic. Like yesterday. It's with casket. Interesting. Like yesterday, we had the You Are Worthy come out twice. Now we have Memento Mori coming out twice. That must be the last card. Memento Mori, remember you must die. That's a really clear message in this soul tribe reading. You only live once. You only get one life in this physical body. You only live once is what I'm hearing. I used to hate that expression when people were like, YOLO, YOLO, YOLO. Shut up. But it's true, you only live once. Again, another thing that used to trigger me that now that I am awakened, I'm like, it's true, you only live once. So let's see, we have the whip. Anger and fighting. Discipline, a strong disagreement, addiction, obsession. That's what I was feeling with that whip card. I was actually seeing, I have another deck that has a whip card and it talks about anger and arguments. This is very interesting. I can tell you how I'm interpreting this. For some of you, you're going to have someone coming towards you that you know, that you've had an ending with, that's going to project onto you, and it's going to be your test. Have you learned enough about yourself? Have you embodied enough self-love to choose yourself? To know that you're not a tomato, I'm hearing? I feel like this person may come in and say, you're a tomato. You're a tomato. I'm great and you're a tomato. And it's going to be a test for you. How are you going to react to this? This whip card makes me think, though, that it's someone that, you know, you've had disagreements with in the past. The other thing this could be is this could be someone that you had disagreements in the past with, that you were in 5 of Swords energy with, that's coming back in, wanting to make things right. Again, be very careful in the month of August. Mercury is in retrograde. Apparently, it's a very powerful retrograde this time. And again, the trick is to not repeat the same patterns. So if this is someone you know, make sure they're coming in very different, different approach. It doesn't even look like them. Otherwise, the cycle is going to repeat. If they do come in the same way, change your reaction, change the way you respond to them. Don't do what you've always done in the past. Change your approach. I'm hearing it like sometimes with an energy like this, the less said, the better. So maybe don't fully engage with it if someone's projecting onto you, you know? Anyway, interesting that I was called to get those cards. Let's see the cup. The cup, though, feels pretty self-explanatory. Now, I'm going to risk feeling embarrassed. X is 10, right? And 1x would be 9, right? 1x is 9 because it's 1 away from 10. Does that make sense? So if this is x, 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 1x, does this mean this is 39? Is that what this means? I'm learning. Funny. Half a cup, half full or half empty. Prosperity, time for celebration, a vessel, possibility of pregnancy, emotional energy. So for some of you, this is going to end up very nice. You know, for some of you, it could even be that, some of you might have someone new coming into your life with that, a helpful stranger and this cup. Maybe you have two people in your energy. Maybe you have someone who you're looking at that cup as, that's not a full cup. And then, I don't know, there's something about that cup half full or half empty. You know, maybe this is about you viewing your cup as full, not empty. Does that make any sense? Anyway, I'm going to leave that there because I'm out of time. But I'm sending you guys lots of love and light. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening to my random channeling. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. And I'm running out of time. Remember that you're loved, and I will see you tomorrow, my friend. Good night. Sleep well. Bye.